You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on Classroom of the Elite. Hi Ruronis, this is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime review, we get to cover an anime series that only lasted for 12 episodes, which has original run from July 12, 2017 to September 27th, 2017. A 3-month anime series for today's anime review is Classroom of the Elite. Classroom of the Elite is a Japanese light novel series written by Shogo Kinugasa and illustrated by Shinsaku Tomose. A manga adaptation by Yu Yu Ichino. It begins its serialization in Media Factory's monthly comic Alive on January 27th, 2016, and also an anime television series adaptation by Lerche aired from July to September 2017, which is this anime is particularly a 3-month anime series as well. Yep. So the plot in this anime review on particularly on Classroom of the Elite is how in a distant future the Japanese government has established the Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing School dedicated to instruct and foster the generation of people that will support the country in the future. The students are given a high degree of freedom in order to closely mimic real life. So the story follows the perspective of Kiyotaka Ayano Koji, a quiet and unassuming boy who is not good at making friends at this point, as if he would have make friends at this point and would rather keep his distance. He is a student of D class, which is where the school dumps its inferior students. After meeting Suzune Horikita and Kikyo Kushida, the two other students in his class, Kiyotaka's situation begins to change, as you expect for this particular anime. So, for the review on this anime, Classroom of the Elite, it has some nice ideas, but swingly, wildly execution. The premise is that Japan has set up for the super elite school where every graduate is guaranteed to be accepted to the college of their choice at this point, as if they would have basically would have applied for full 4 university or a 2-month university as any other call, depending on what school that you expect for seeing in this particular anime review. Besides, just like how in the same way I look back on my previous anime review on Baccano, which all has got to me. So, anyways, those students are not allowed to leave their entire high school career, and communication is cut off with the outside. The living facilities are top notch. There is even a sizable mall on campus, and every student is given a budget to live on, and starting with 100,000 points, which is particularly the equivalent of, at this point, as it was 100,000 yen or 900 US dollars at this point to pay for their first month's expenses as well. Yep. Students are judged as a classroom based on a merit, and points are awarded at the start of each month. Otherwise, they are free to do as they like. Several of the first year students of Class D fritter away that first month's worth of money with the happy expectation at this point that they will get the same amount next month. Others fall asleep in class once it becomes clear that their teacher won't say a word if they do. At this point, if they would have gotten sleep early, if they're getting ready for a school night in this particular anime. So naturally, this system is not as kind to the student as the students as they initially take it for it. Most of the class is close to broke by the start of the second month, and not only that, but they've failed their exams so badly, but that they are awarded 0 points for the next month's living expenses. They won't starve. They are free handouts for students with no points, but they won't be able to buy anything worthwhile, and students who fall too far behind will be expelled at this point, as it was getting kicked out of school or college, or depending on any what you expect seeing in this anime. Their instructor reiterates that they must earn their points through merit and makes it clear to them anything can be purchased at the school with enough points, which is particularly like 100,000 points. You guessed it, at this point, as it was equivalent to 100,000 yen, as well as particularly at this point, as it was 900 US dollars in this anime. And that kicks this off the series. I mean, it's a competition, complicated things about between the first year classes A through D as they struggle either to climb or remain at the top, unlike American high schools in the United States of America, where students can change classes with every subject. Japanese classrooms are more static in a way for what you see in the anime classroom of the elite, as well as none of the classes are fully aware of the rules at school, but they are encouraged to compete against one another, and naturally, Class D ranks at the bottom. The protagonist's main character is Kiyotaka Ano Koji, who initially looks at like an introverted guy who's trouble at making friends. At this point, he was trying to make friends in Classroom of the Elite, and he wasn't as lame as he appeared to be. But I noticed that there are a lot of protagonists who are supposed to be the everyman, but Kiyotaka was fun because he lacks of earnestness of a lot of those characters. Instead, we had a pathetic everyman who ever figured he should at least try to make a good first impression to his new classmates and end up giving himself the blandest introduction possible. But Kiyotaka has a hidden history that the anime doesn't fully get into. At the upshot is that he's actually really smart, a great manipulator of people, and probably should be in Class A, except that he manufactured his scores on his entrance exam to get himself put in Class D as well. Now, if this was my anime review on Baccano, then I would have been compelled to have it on full blast if you ever want to see an anime review. But it's Classroom of the Elite. Am I right? So, anyways, we didn't know anything about what the hell Kiyotaka's actual plans are, even by the end of the series. But if you like watching a guy subtly outsmarting other people, he's not a bad pick. He's bland. Farcade allows him to get away with things like he can get away with everything he needs because most people don't suspect anything from him, and he's very good at deflecting credit onto other people. I mean, particularly as it's just how it is what it is. How I end up liking this version of Kiyotaka as well. But he doesn't have much of a character arc because of how the anime chooses to present him, fortunately. The secondary protagonist is Suzune Hirotaka does. Huh, you guessed it. Two character protagonists. That's how you expect having character protagonists, which is a good questionable thing. You guessed it. At first, she's a prickly character, too haughty to get involved with her classmates. In fact, she rather the worst of them drop out because she wants to rise to Class A and her current classmates aren't going to cut it. But gradually, she comes out to believing that she should look out for her classmates and that she can't do everything about herself. This isn't something you find from Maid-sama as well. But anyways, Class D is filled with the school's miscreants and all are deficient in some manner, and not necessarily in the discipline and study habits. The fact Suzune is there that all points has some flaw in herself, which she is reluctant to knowledge as well. Since both Suzune and Kyoto Aka are the cunning ones out of class. Most of the series involves the two of them working together to outsmart the other students of other classes and save their fellow classmates through who Suzune is sharp and dominates the earlier episodes. She is not on Kiyotaka's level. The more of his backstory comes out, the more apparent is that Kiyotaka is really the one in control. I mean, there are most of the plots I knew about, especially, and most because it's ungiven. Even the good parts that are outsmarting the other students are really good with an incredible amount of scheming going into the setup for the final episode, but it's not operating at peak. It's usually in a valley, and the worst offender is the pool episode. that it literally has nothing else to do with the story at this point, as it was with the original manga as well at this point. Yep. If I usually can put up with a filler fan service episode, but episode 7 was mind-numbing per file. I almost skipped ahead. The only reason I didn't knew was due to fear of missing something important, but there isn't anything, but it's just how you expect seeing it. Classroom of the Elite is based on the series of novels, and while they haven't been translated into English at this point, as it was either translated by Yen Press or particularly Seven Seas Entertainment or any manga publishing company, depending on how they wanted to translate Classroom of the Elite as well. But yep, you guess it. Where at the last one of the novel breaks its, and since the last 4 episodes are clearly a contained story arc, and they are previous episodes that are similar, the pool filler probably exists because they needed to pad to the run to avoid starting another book they couldn't complete at this point, as it was added into the manga as well at this point. You guessed it. From a pacing perspective, that makes things a little weird that there's no real season finale, so much as the culmination of the story arc. You guessed it, because it's a 12-episode anime series. Also, because the novel series is very much ongoing, we don't get a lot of answers, as we expect. We learn a little more about Kiyotaka as a person, but the school year is not even a half over. Class D has made some progress, but is still ranked lower than Class C, and everyone else is still scheming. But the last episode is at a high point, but would be more palatable as a season break rather than an ending without any guarantee that there will be future episodes. At this point, if it needed another season for this particular anime series, kind of like how Space Dandy had season 2. At this point, Classroom of the Elite only lasted for 12 episodes. At this point, as it was needed another season finale on season 2. At this point, they would have moved to season 3, but it didn't. But that's not how you expect it. But the series has some good moments and a nice concept, particularly for those who like cutthroat scheming by teenagers, but is difficult to recommend on account of its lack of resolution and general unevenness. If it eventually has a second season, it might be able to pull itself together at this point into something remarkable, but without a way for the audience to continue following the story, it's just unsatisfying. Yeah. Besides, my anime review on Classroom of the Elite is getting a lot way better than my movie review on Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey and Nobody's Fool with Paul Newman and Die Hard with a Vengeance and Little Miss Sunshine, which it all has got to me. Plus, the excellent scheming and rule manipulation. Kiyotaka is a cunning mastermind, a nice world building, but there's no real resolution. Quality of the episode swings widely. The pool episode is a waste of time that has nothing to do with the rest of the series, as well as to the manga as well. Classroom of the Elite is currently streaming on Crunchyroll, subtitled, and it's dubbed in English on Funimation, because Funimation has licensed this for an eventual retail distribution in the U.S. And yeah, it did got a released on DVD and Blu-ray as a DVD and Blu-ray combo pack released by Funimation, as it was at this point for this particular anime series. And yeah, this is probably the best of the bunch. What Classroom of the Elite is, it's probably what Crunchyroll has a lot to do with as well. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Classroom of the Elite. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts on this anime review. So it's been a while since I've watched Classroom of the Elite. It was a fun series to watch because this anime series only has 12 episodes. It's been a while since I watched this because I wanted to watch an anime series that has 12 episodes, so I wanted to do an anime reviewer to cover as an anime review. That's why. Hope subscribe for content. My anime planet link in the description below. You can share this video on your Twitter, Facebook if you have Twitter, Facebook account, and all social media. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button on this video. Feel free to leave in the comments section on this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RurouniK95. Feel free to join my channel, especially if you're new to my channel. Hit the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified. Keep it otaku for this anime review, and I got another anime review coming up. Stay tuned for my next anime review. I got another anime review to cover Urusei Yatsura OVA with my anime review on Urusei Yatsura I Howl at the Moon. Stay tuned for my next anime review on Urusei Yatsura I Howl at the Moon OVA, because you won't want to miss another anime review here.